Hello, fabulous third graders! Today we are going to chat about place value through thousands. Okay, so let's say we have this number, 4,219. The last time we talked about place value, we said that there were three ways that we could write a number: standard form, expanded form, and word form. So when we look at the number 4,219, that is already in standard form. That is the way that we typically write a number using digits. Now, remember, expanded form means stretching out that number based on the value of each of those digits. So take a look at that 4. That 4 is in the thousands column. So now we would have 4 thousands blocks. So that means that 4 is valued at 4,000. And then we're going to add that to the value of the digit 2. Now 2 is in the hundreds column, so that is a value of 200. And we're going to add that to the value of the digit 1. And that 1 is in the tens column. So we know if we have 110, 1/10s block, we have 10. And that's the value of that digit 1. And finally, we're going to add that to the value of the digit in the ones column. Now, because 9 is in the ones column, the value is just simply 9. So when we stretch out that number based on the values of the digits, our expanded form for 4,219 is 4,000 plus 200 plus 10 plus 9. Now, word form, we think about our digit, we think about how we would say it, 4,219. So 4,200 and 10 and 9 together is 19. 4,219. But take a look at your digits and take a look at where the comma falls in those digits. That comma is between the 4 and the 2. It's between the 4,000 and the 200. So when we write the word form, we need to include that comma as well. So there's your standard form, expanded form, and word form of 4,219. Let's take a look at some more. How about a number like 1,602, where we have a 0 in the middle of our number? Well, again, we have three forms: standard form, expanded form, and word form that we can write our number in. Now remember, when we're using digits to represent a number, like 1,602 here, that is our standard form. Now expanded form, we're going to stretch that number out based on the value of our digits. So the 1 in the thousands column is valued at 1,000. We're going to add that to the value of the 6 in the hundreds column. 6 in the hundreds column is equal to 600. Now, we have to add that to our next value. But the next value is 0 in the tens column, and that's simply 0. And so just like the last time in our last lesson, I'm going to choose to not write that 0. Now, you can add 1,000 plus 600 plus 0 plus our last value, but I'm not going to include that 0. So I'm going right to the next digit, which is the 2 in the ones column, and that's valued at 2. So my expanded form, my stretched out form, is 1,000 plus 600 plus 2. That's the expanded form of 1,602. Now, word form, we think about how we would say the number, 1,602. 1,602. And again, we have a comma in between the 1 and the 6, in between the 1,000 and the 600. So we have to put our comma in the word form as well. So there's your standard form, expanded form, and word form of 1,602. Here's another number with 0 in the middle, 5,084. We're going to put this into standard form, expanded form, and word form. So I already have my number written out in digits, 5,084. That is my standard form. Now we're going to stretch out this number based on the value of the digits. So we have the 5 in the thousands column, and that is valued at 5,000. Now, we're going to add that to our next value, but the next digit is a 0. So the value of 0 in any place is 0. So again, I'm going to choose not to include that 0. Now I could write 5,000 plus 0 plus the next values, but I'm going to choose to leave that 0 out. So then I go to my next digit, which is the 8 in the tens column, and 8 in the tens column is valued at 80. Finally, I look at the 4 because I'm going to need to add that to the expanded form, and the 4 in the ones column is valued at 4. So my expanded form, my stretched out form of 5,084 is 5,000 plus 80 plus 4. And then for word form, I think about how I say this number, 5,084. So I write it out, 5,084. And remember, you need that hyphen in between the 80 and the 4. You also need the comma. So the comma in the standard form is between the 5,000, or the 5, and the 0. So we need to put that comma after the 5,000 in our word form as well. So here's my standard, expanded, and word forms of 5,084. Okay, let's do one more number with a 0 in it. This time the 0 is at the end, 3,210. And we're going to put this number into standard form, expanded form, and word form. So remember, this is already written in standard form with the digits. So there's my standard form of 3,210. Now to stretch it out, to make it into expanded form, we have to look at the value of each of those digits. So the 3 is in the thousands column, and that's valued at 3,000. Now we're going to add that to the value of our next digit, which is the 2 in the hundreds column, and that's valued at 200. We're going to add that to the value of the digit in the next column, and that's 1 in the tens column, and that's valued at 10. Now, the last digit is a 0. Again, I'm going to choose to leave that 0 out of my expanded form, so that I have 3,000 plus 200 plus 10 as my expanded form. Now, if you wish, you can write it as 3,000 plus 200 plus 10 plus 0, but that is not necessary. So that's my expanded form, and then word form I think about, okay, I say 3,210. So I write it out that way, 3,210. Now remember, there's a comma after the 3,000, so I have to put that comma in my word form as well. So there you have it, standard form, expanded form, and word form of 3,210.